Don't lie to yourself, bro. You are laying in your bed right now or on your couch and you're just reminiscing about the past. You have nothing to do and your mind just immediately goes back in time to a specific moment. It might be a year ago, 2 years ago, some part of your childhood, and you're thinking about a certain decision where the outcomes was not what you expected. The result that you really wanted, you didn't get. And most of you guys will think about some sort of business idea. It's always when people are aging that they start thinking back in the past on certain things they wish they'd done. They wish that they took initiative and they started the business that they always wanted to. But, they came up with excuses at the time, whether they were too busy, they didn't have enough resources. Whatever the case is, they just never started. And they'll never know if they were ever meant to succeed in that line of work. Failing in something after you actually put forward a good effort, that's acceptable. There's a lot of lessons that you could learn from that first failed business and you can actually put towards your future businesses or even other aspects of life. But you being too scared to try and coming up with false realities and false reasons on why you would be unsuccessful without actually giving it a shot is completely unacceptable. You need to understand that you don't want to live a life of regret. You don't want to be dwelling in your deathbed thinking about all the what ifs in your life instead of reminiscing all the highlights and all the great things that you have accomplished. Don't get me wrong, the days are long, but the years are short. It is important that you are maximizing every moment you can, that you have a schedule that you are implementing and you're actually working towards the things you want out of life, the things you want to accomplish before you die. And I know that's such a dark topic, but nobody ever wants to talk about how uncertain life is. There's so much crazy things that can happen to you in your future. Life can literally change in a blink of an eye, and you can't take the time you have now for granted. I've had friends pass away at young ages. I've seen people lose loved ones. There's crazy things that you aren't even considering right now, but there are moments in life that every human goes through that will completely change their output, completely change their perspective on life, and you shouldn't wait till that happens to you for you to actually take life seriously and implement the lifestyle that you want to have. One of the biggest things you have to do right now is cut out things that are wasting time, things that are distractions, things that are not actually bringing benefit to your life. For most of you guys, it's video games. I used to love playing video games too. All the memories I've had playing video games with my friends. We'd be in like the party talking till 2 or 3 a.m. But then it gets to a point where you simply are not benefiting. The ROI is not worth the time investment. And I understood that going into college, and I just made it my mission not to play video games anymore. And if I'm at a friend's house, I'll occasionally play, but in my household, I haven't played any video games for 4 years, basically. And for me, quitting it wasn't that difficult. But what I did find difficult was using that extra time I had now to actually being productive. I'd fill it up with scrolling on social media or watching TV. I found other bad habits to replace the bad habit I just broke. I made sure to eventually implement more disciplinary actions to help me. And the reason I was so bad at filling my time properly is because I would still put myself in that environment where I used to play video games. I used to play video games in my living room. And even though I wasn't playing video games anymore, I would go on my phone in the living room and just scroll for hours. I'd watch TV on that same television. And my mind automatically would just assume it's time to do like leisure activity once I was in that room. So for you guys that are struggling to quit video games, what you have to do is remove yourself from that environment, or remove the gaming system from the environment. If you play your video games in your room, I need you to immediately unplug everything, take all the wires, put it in the box, seal the box if you can, and then put it in your attic or put it in like your garage somewhere that it's out of sight and out of mind. And for the first week, it's going to be very difficult for you to just process not having the video game there anymore, not having the console easily to set up. But if you do want to go play it, you have to go out of your way now to actually get it out of the garage and hook it all up, take it out of the box, all these extra steps. It used to be one click of a button and you automatically had the game up, but now it's like a 10-minute process. So you're actually going to contemplate if it's worth the energy or not for you to actually set everything up. So you might be playing once a week instead of every single day. Most of you guys are playing every single day for 3 hours. That's 21 hours every week you're dedicating to video games that you should be putting towards starting your business, helping you learn a high value skill, and just elevating throughout life, getting to that next level of life where you want to be at the next step. But this 21 hours that are immediately taking out of your life for a productive activity every single week makes it very difficult for you to improve. But now, since it's such a hassle for you to get the video game console out of the box and hooked up and running, you only play once a week. You play every Sunday night for 3 hours. You just went from spending 21 hours a week on video games to just 3 in one simple step. How big of a difference this will make to your life, I promise you, will be so drastic. You understand now how much more time you actually have, and you will try to use it wisely. Even if you start off slow and you start off spending some time on social media, watching TV, eventually you will get disciplined enough to where you can actually say, hey, this is stupid. Let me go do something with my time. Let me go do something productive. Let me learn how to code. Let me learn how to start a swimwear company. Whatever your true ambitions are, what will bring you true happiness, it'll be brought out of you, and your mind will wander towards this instead of wandering towards playing a video game. Whenever you have that free time, you now can spend on stuff that's going to bring so much more benefit to your life. It's such a small change, but it has a huge impact on you. And you're going to build momentum throughout this. When you're playing video game once a week, you're going to realize that one day, it isn't as fun as it used to be. You know, that first week of you playing only on Sundays, you were looking forward to it. But now it's just a normal day to you, and you just don't really care for it. You'd rather be doing something beneficial with your life. You enjoy the 6 other evenings of you working towards your business, and then that one Sunday, you don't even see it as that much fun anymore. Or if you do still enjoy it, you understand, okay, I can work super hard for these 6 days, and then I get to have a leisure time on Sunday. But then Monday, it's back to business. So if you can implement that sort of a strategy, it definitely can be beneficial to your life. But I would ultimately recommend you just cutting out video games altogether. And obviously for some of you guys, it's going to be harder than others. But just the amount of time you get back and you actually can use to put towards things that make your future self happier, I think is a lot more beneficial, and you should definitely consider heavily.